Ruben Amorim's first match as Manchester United's head coach was a 1-1 draw at Ipswich, a result that undoubtedly left both the manager and the fans with mixed feelings. The excitement of a new era under Amorim was palpable, especially as United went 1-0 up in the opening minutes, but the result highlighted that United's rebuilding process is far from complete. With so much to analyse from the match, it is clear that Amorim faces significant challenges in transforming the team into a more cohesive and dynamic unit. As the team adjusts to his methods, it is essential to look at both the winners and losers from the game to understand which players are adapting well to the new system and which ones may need to step up if United is to reach its potential. The winners, key performances in a drawn opening match. Amad Diallo, a statement performance. Amad Diallo's performance was arguably one of the most positive aspects of Manchester United's draw with Ipswich. The 22-year-old winger, who had already impressed with his attacking play earlier in the season, was selected by Amorim to play in a wing-back role, a position he had not previously occupied regularly. Given the tactical demands of the wing-back role, which requires both defensive discipline and attacking creativity, it was a big call from Amorim to place such responsibility on a player with limited experience in the position. However, Amad rose to the occasion in style. He was instrumental in United's early goal, providing an assist after just 2 minutes of play. His vision, pace, and ability to pick out his teammates in dangerous positions were evident, and his involvement in the build-up to the goal demonstrated his technical quality. Despite having to contribute defensively in a role that demands a lot of work off the ball, Amad did not lose his attacking edge. He continued to offer width on the right flank and posed a constant threat with his dribbles and crosses. Amad's defensive contributions were also impressive. He worked tirelessly to track back and help cover for his teammates, often being in the right place to block crosses or disrupt Ipswich's attacks. This all-around performance, where Amad balanced the demands of defence and attack, was a testament to his growing maturity as a player. Ruben Amorim, who values versatility in his players, will likely view this as a significant step forward for the young Ivorian, especially since the wing-back position is vital in his tactical system. Amad's full 90-minute performance did not go unnoticed by fans or the coaching staff. He finished second in the fan vote for man of the match, only narrowly losing to Andre Onana, who delivered another excellent performance in goal. For Amorim, Amad's display was a sign of what he can offer in a new system that demands players to be adaptable and versatile. If he continues to develop in this role, Amad could become a key player in Amorim's rebuild of Manchester United. Nasser Mazraoui, a versatile defender who shines in multiple roles. Another standout performer in Amorim's first match in charge was Nasser Mazraoui. Known for his versatility, the Moroccan defender was called upon to play as a centre-back, a position he had not regularly featured in during his career. His performance in this new role was nothing short of impressive. Mazraoui showed that he is not only capable of playing at right-back but also excels in the central defensive position when called upon. His ability to receive the ball from goalkeeper Andre Onana and play out from the back was crucial for United, as Amorim's system demands a fluid and quick build-up from defence to attack. Mazraoui's technical ability with the ball at his feet allowed him to make clean passes and keep possession under pressure, helping United retain control of the game. His composure on the ball, combined with his defensive solidity, made him one of the most reliable players on the pitch. The statistics tell the story of Mazraoui's influence. He had more touches than any other player on the field, and his distribution was key in progressing the ball up the pitch. His ability to step into midfield and cover space when necessary allowed United to maintain their shape and balance defensively, and his positioning was often exemplary in cutting out Ipswich's attacking threats. Mazraoui's adaptability is a major asset for Ruben Amorim, who values players that can operate in multiple positions and contribute in different phases of play. With Amorim's preference for using a back-three system, Mazraoui could continue to feature in central defence, or Amorim may opt to use him at right-back with more attacking freedom, depending on the tactical requirements of future matches. His display against Ipswich proved that he can be a reliable figure in multiple roles and will likely play a significant part in Amorim's plans moving forward. Marcus Rashford, the striker who delivered when needed. One of the most notable decisions Ruben Amorim made in his first match was to deploy Marcus Rashford as the central striker. It was a bold call, as Rashford has often been used as a winger for much of his United career, but Amorim saw an opportunity to utilise Rashford's natural goal-scoring instincts in a more central position. Rashford's response was immediate. After just 2 minutes, he found the back of the net, opening the scoring for United with a well-taken finish. His movement off the ball, combined with his pace, was enough to get in behind Ipswich's defence and finish off a quick counter-attacking move. For Rashford, it was a sign of the sharpness and clinical nature that has made him one of United's most dangerous players in recent years. Although his involvement in the game after the goal was limited, he only had one shot on target, and he was substituted in the 68th minute. His performance as a striker was encouraging. Strikers are often judged by their ability to score, and Rashford delivered in this respect. However, the challenge for Amorim will be to develop a system that allows Rashford to have more touches in dangerous areas and to be more involved in build-up play. The lack of creativity in United's play was evident at times, and Amorim will need to work on getting more service to Rashford in the future. Rashford's ability to score in the central role shows that he could be a viable option for the striker position moving forward. His work ethic and versatility, combined with his natural ability to find the back of the net, give Amorim flexibility in how he sets up his attacking options. While it's unclear whether Rashford will be the long-term solution as a central striker, his performance in Amorim's debut match certainly earned him another chance to prove himself in the role. Luke Shaw, a welcome return. After an extended injury layoff, Luke Shaw made his long-awaited return to action in Amorim's first match as manager. The left-back, who had been sidelined for several months, was introduced as a second-half substitute and played in an unfamiliar role as part of a back three. Despite not being fully match-fit, Shaw's experience and tactical intelligence shone through. Shaw's most notable contribution was his ability to read the game and provide defensive stability in the central areas. He is known for his quality on the ball, and this was evident as he contributed to the build-up play and helped United transition from defence to attack. Shaw's composure in possession and his ability to cover defensive spaces were key in ensuring that Ipswich didn't exploit any gaps in United's defence. His experience in a back three system was clear, and it's a formation that could suit him going forward. The main challenge for Shaw, however, will be staying fit. His injury history is well documented, and United will need to manage his fitness carefully. If Shaw can remain healthy, his versatility could be a huge asset to Amorim, particularly as a rotational centre-back in a back three or as a left-back when needed. Shaw's return to the fold is a positive step for United, and his presence will provide much-needed depth to the squad. The losers' struggling performances highlight areas for improvement. Casemiro, a tough day at the office. Casemiro's performance in Amorim's first match was one of the more disappointing aspects of the game. The Brazilian defensive midfielder, who had shown signs of improvement under former coach Ruud van Nistelrooy, struggled to assert himself in the middle of the park. His lack of a partner like Manuel Ugarte, who is often tasked with breaking up the opposition's attacks, left Casemiro exposed and unable to influence the game as he would have liked. Throughout the match, Casemiro struggled to make meaningful contributions in both defense and attack. He was unable to make a tackle or interception, two aspects of his game that are usually key to his influence on matches. His passing was also off, and he failed to maintain control in key moments, which led to frustration on the pitch. Amorim's decision to substitute Casemiro in the 56th minute was perhaps a reflection of his struggles. The Brazilian midfielder will have to improve his performances, particularly in terms of his positional play and ball distribution, if he is to retain a starting spot under Amorim. The presence of younger midfielders, like Kobbie Mainoo, will also provide competition for Casemiro, and Amorim may look to other options if the Brazilian cannot regain his best form. Joshua Z. Ruben Amorim's first game as Manchester United head coach, a 1-1 draw at Ipswich Town, and the heroic performance of Andre Onana. On Sunday, the football world witnessed the beginning of a new era at Manchester United, as Ruben Amorim took charge of his first match as the club's head coach. In a game that was as much about looking forward as it was about navigating through the early hurdles of a season in flux, the match ended in a hard-fought 1-1 draw against Ipswich Town at Portman Road. Although Amorim's debut was not the immediate triumph many had hoped for, one player stood out for his performances: goalkeeper Andre Onana. The Cameroon international put on an extraordinary display, making several crucial saves that helped Manchester United maintain a share of the points on a day when their overall performance left much to be desired. As a new head coach taking over the reins of one of the most high-profile football clubs in the world, Amorim was expected to bring in a fresh perspective and tactical approach. Having gained widespread attention with his impressive work at Sporting CP, Amorim's appointment as Manchester United's head coach was met with optimism. However, expectations are always high when managing such a prestigious club, and even the best managers face challenges when transitioning to a new team, particularly when they inherit a squad that's been through several ups and downs in recent seasons. Amorim's first game, away at Ipswich Town in the Championship, showcased some of those difficulties, yet it was also a reminder of the immense quality at his disposal, particularly in the form of Onana. Kieran McKenna's insight, the former Manchester United assistant, and his impressions of Onana. While Ruben Amorim made his debut on the touchline, his counterpart in the Ipswich dugout was someone who has a direct connection to Manchester United, Kieran McKenna. McKenna, who previously served as an assistant coach under both Jose Mourinho and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at Old Trafford, has been building a reputation as one of the most promising young managers in English football. His time working with Manchester United's first team has afforded him a unique perspective on the club's culture, its expectations, and the pressures that come with managing such a high-profile team. Following the match, McKenna spoke to the Ipswich Star and was keen to share his thoughts on the performance of Manchester United's goalkeeper Andre Onana. McKenna, always a professional, was quick to praise Onana for his exceptional shot-stopping abilities during the game, singling out two saves in particular as being of the highest quality. "I thought the first save from Liam Delap was incredible," McKenna remarked. The save, which came early in the game, was a powerful moment that could have completely altered the course of the match had Onana not been in the right place at the right time. The second half was no less eventful. With Ipswich putting more pressure on United and looking for a winner after the teams had drawn level, Onana was called into action again. "The save in the second half was probably the big one," McKenna continued. "He's a good goalkeeper." It was clear that McKenna, who knows the ins and outs of top-tier goalkeeping, was not just impressed by Onana's reflexes but by his composure under pressure, a crucial trait for any goalkeeper, especially one playing for a team like Manchester United. Onana's role in the match, a testament to his consistency and ability. Throughout the 1-1 draw, Andre Onana was undeniably the standout player for Manchester United. His performance was a stark reminder of why the club paid a premium to bring him in from Inter Milan. Onana's commanding presence in goal and his ability to execute world-class saves when required was what kept United from falling behind, particularly in the opening stages of the game when Ipswich Town appeared to be gaining momentum. One of the key highlights of Onana's performance came in the first half when Ipswich forward Liam Delap was presented with a golden opportunity to open the scoring. Delap, a talented striker with an eye for goal, saw his shot saved superbly by Onana. The save was described by the BBC as world-class, and it kept the scoreline level at 0-0 when it could easily have been 1-0 in Ipswich's favour. Onana's ability to maintain focus and deny Delap not only highlighted his reaction speed but also showcased his overall awareness in high-pressure situations. Onana's importance was underscored even further in the second half. With Manchester United struggling to assert their dominance on the field, Ipswich grew in confidence and pushed for the lead. Onana made another critical intervention to deny Ipswich a goal that would have potentially sealed all 3 points for the home side. With his excellent positioning and sharp reflexes, Onana ensured that his team remained in the game, leaving manager Ruben Amorim with a much-needed positive takeaway from an otherwise difficult encounter. The goalkeeper's performance didn't just involve shot-stopping. His distribution was also a point of praise from Amorim. Onana completed 78% of his passes during the game, a significant stat that reflects his ability to help Manchester United build from the back and initiate attacks. This aspect of his game, which was one of the primary reasons for bringing him to the club in the first place, was evident throughout the match. Amorim's emphasis on playing out from the back was clear, and Onana was central to this approach. Ruben Amorim's tactical approach and the struggles of the debut. While Onana's performance may have been the highlight of Amorim's debut, the match as a whole highlighted some of the challenges that the Portuguese coach will face in the weeks ahead. Manchester United were sluggish at times, particularly in their build-up play, and looked disjointed in attack. Amorim, known for his tactical acumen at Sporting CP, is likely aware of these issues and will need to work quickly to instill a more cohesive style of play in his squad. One of the more notable challenges for Amorim in this game was the early goal conceded by his side. Ipswich Town struck first in the match, taking a 1-0 lead early on after a well-executed counter-attack. For any new manager, conceding an early goal can be a particularly difficult hurdle, as it forces the team to react under pressure. However, the response from Manchester United was admirable and they managed to regroup, showing resilience to earn the draw. For Amorim, the key takeaway from this match would have been the ability of his team to not fold after going behind, something that he will no doubt look to build on in future matches. However, despite the draw, Amorim will also know that there is still much work to do. United's performance was not as fluid as it should have been, and the tactical discipline that has made Amorim such a respected figure in Portugal will be tested as he integrates his style into Manchester United. One area that will require immediate attention is the team's offensive play. While Onana saved them on multiple occasions, the attack looked lackluster at times. Amorim will need to figure out how to get the best out of his attacking players to ensure that Manchester United is more clinical in front of goal. A reflection of the bigger picture, the path forward for Amorim. Ruben Amorim's first match in charge of Manchester United may not have resulted in a win, but there are signs of promise. The challenges of managing such a high-profile club are many, but Amorim's tactical intelligence and understanding of the game give him a solid foundation to build upon. The presence of players like Andre Onana in goal provides the necessary stability for the coach to focus on other areas of the team, particularly the attack and midfield. Looking ahead, Amorim will need to get to grips with Manchester United's dynamics as quickly as possible. The squad has quality, but it lacks consistency in certain areas, and Amorim will need to find the right balance between solidifying the defense and improving offensive efficiency. If he can iron out those issues and implement his tactical philosophy, United could be on the path to success. For now, though, the praise heaped on Andre Onana in the wake of his performance against Ipswich Town will provide Amorim with a reassuring reminder that the goalkeeper is a key player in his setup. The Manchester United goalkeeper was central to keeping the scoreline level on the day, and his performance serves as a crucial building block for Amorim to work from as he looks to guide the team through what promises to be a challenging season. Conclusion: a new beginning at Old Trafford. In the end, Ruben Amorim's first game as Manchester United manager may have ended in a draw, but it was a match that gave the fans plenty to reflect on. With Andre Onana providing heroics at the back, the performance of the team as a whole will undoubtedly improve under Amorim's stewardship. There is still much work to be done, but the foundation has been laid. The road ahead will not be easy, but if Onana's performance is anything to go by, Manchester United can expect solid performances from their goalkeeper, even as they work to rectify their other shortcomings. With a clear tactical vision and the quality at his disposal, Amorim will be determined to ensure that Manchester United moves forward into a new era of success. This draw against Ipswich is just the beginning. What happens next will define whether Amorim can live up to the immense potential he has shown at previous clubs and whether Manchester United can rediscover their glory days under his leadership. Introduction: a new era at Manchester United. The importance of the draw against Ipswich. Introduction to Ruben Amorim's first game in charge and the expectations surrounding his arrival. Summary of the 1-1 draw against Ipswich Town, acknowledging it as a disappointing result but recognizing the potential of the manager's approach. A look at Manchester United's current predicament and the need for change under Amorim's leadership. The long-running issues at Manchester United. Unresolved striker problems. Historical analysis of Manchester United's struggles with finding a reliable forward. A deep dive into the performance of Rasmus Højlund prior to Amorim's arrival, including his underwhelming stats, 1.38 shots per 90 minutes, bottom percentiles for touches in the box and progressive passes received, the team's previous inability to integrate a striker into the attacking play and the lack of cohesion between wingers and forward players. Inconsistent wide play and lack of service. Examination of how the wingers at United, under various managers, failed to provide quality service to the strikers. The tactical changes Amorim intends to implement in order to address this gap. Insight into why wide play has been inconsistent for Manchester United and how Amorim plans to revamp it. Ruben Amorim's tactical vision. Amorim's first steps in charge. Overview of Ruben Amorim's managerial career up until his appointment at Manchester United. A deep dive into his tactical philosophy and style of play, focus on vertical passing, intensity, pressing, and fluid attacking play, discussion of Amorim's approach to building a coherent team identity and his long-term goals for United. Addressing the challenge of implementing his vision in a squad with existing issues and injury problems. The role of wide players and strikers in Amorim's system, analysis of Amorim's tactical adjustments to how wide players interact with the striker. Breaking down the removal of the inside forward role and how this impacts both the wingers and central strikers. How Amorim's system demands more from the striker in terms of intelligent movement and positioning. Rasmus Højlund, from peripheral to prominent. Højlund's struggles before Amorim's arrival. More detailed analysis of Højlund's performances under previous managers, focusing on his struggles with involvement in the game. Breaking down his individual statistics, including his low touches in the opposition box and lack of progressive passes received, the disconnect between the striker and his teammates, especially the wingers, and how this reflected a systemic issue at United. The change in Højlund's involvement against Ipswich. Detailed analysis of Højlund's performance against Ipswich, focusing on how Amorim's tactical setup allowed him to be more involved. Breakdown of Højlund's positioning and runs during the game, highlighting his improved connection with teammates and increased touches in the box. Statistical comparison of his involvement in the game versus his previous performances, showing the difference Amorim's approach made, how Amorim's system can get the best out of Højlund moving forward, making him a central part of the attacking play. The evolution of the striker problem at Manchester United, predicting the future role of Højlund under Amorim and the potential for the striker to develop into a key player. A discussion on the long-term prospects for Højlund and how Amorim plans to improve his technical abilities, movement and link-up play, comparison to past great strikers at Manchester United and how Amorim can recreate this kind of success with Højlund. Ahmad, a bright spark in Amorim's first game. Ahmad's positioning and performance. In-depth breakdown of Ahmad's performance against Ipswich in a wing-back role, something unfamiliar for the Ivorian winger, how Amorim's tactical flexibility allowed Ahmad to thrive in this new position, showcasing his versatility and skill set. Analysis of how Ahmad's performance epitomized the kind of player Amorim needs to build his system around: dynamic, adaptable, and capable of executing the manager's high-intensity style. The "trust the process" mentality. Analysis of Ahmad's post-match statement, "Trust the process, we will grow up." Reflection on how this sentiment echoes Amorim's philosophy of gradual development, emphasizing the importance of trust and patience in the rebuilding process. Ahmad's role as a positive example for the squad and the manager's belief in developing young talent and fostering unity within the team. Ahmad's future under Amorim, examining Ahmad's potential for further development under Amorim's guidance, how Amorim can harness Ahmad's skills in the long term to become a crucial part of United's future, both as a winger and as a more versatile attacker. Comparison to previous successful wingers under Amorim's tenure at Sporting CP. Other key performers in Amorim's early days. The impact of substitutes: Ugarte, Mount, and Casemiro. Examination of how key substitutes like Manuel Ugarte and Mason Mount changed the dynamics of the game during the Ipswich draw. In-depth look at Casemiro's performance and how Amorim plans to manage the Brazilian midfielder's influence going forward. Tactical insights into how Amorim may rotate his squad and utilize fresh legs to implement his pressing and fast-paced style. The role of Bruno Fernandes and leadership in the squad, exploring Bruno Fernandes' leadership and his role as the team's creative fulcrum. How Fernandes will fit into Amorim's system, where quick transitions and fluid attacking play will place more emphasis on his passing range and vision. A prediction for how the dynamic between Fernandes and Amorim will evolve as the team finds its rhythm. The bigger picture: Amorim's long-term vision for Manchester United. Building a cohesive team identity. Detailed exploration of the vision Amorim has for Manchester United's identity in the long term. Discussion on how he plans to evolve the squad, both in terms of tactical structure and player development, over the next few seasons. How the youth and depth of United's squad fit into Amorim's blueprint for success. Managing expectations, patience versus instant results. Addressing the fine line between patience and the pressure for immediate results at a club like Manchester United, how Amorim can manage expectations and deliver success while building a sustainable model for the future. Historical examples of other managers who faced similar challenges at United and how Amorim's approach might differ. Conclusion: optimism amidst the struggles. The road ahead for Manchester United. A summary of the key takeaways from Amorim's first game and his potential to transform Manchester United into a competitive force. Once again, a reflection on how the team, while struggling now, has the tools to grow and develop under Amorim's leadership. Final thoughts on the process that Ahmad spoke of, and the need for fans to embrace the long-term journey ahead with patience and optimism.